she was really fighting the thought of taking tablets and ending her life. Hi, I'm Sam Starr, and today I'm going to be talking about my experience raising a teenager. My daughter is Ruby, and she is now 19. In 2022, Ruby had always been a very bright, bubbly, engaged, social child and teenager as she continued on. And we noticed, first of all, that she was extremely tired. She was really exhausted. Things that she loved doing, she suddenly didn't really have the energy to do anymore. She was withdrawing. She was complaining about having to go to school. Those were sort of the first things that we started to notice with her. And we immediately thought iron levels and all of the physical things. Didn't think at the start, and she hadn't sort of explained to us at the start or shown any signs that there was anything going on that might have been related to mental health. It was pretty scary because it was such a change in her behaviour and almost her personality as well. I think initially I sort of thought, oh, it's fine, we'll figure out what it is and we'll get on top of it. Looking back, I think I sort of regret now, knowing what I know, that we probably kept trying to hold her to her routine in those first sort of 6 weeks or so. You know, you do the old, yeah, I don't want to go to work either, but you know, I have to, so get out of bed. And then knowing now what we know and what she was experiencing, it's obviously, yeah, hard not to look back and feel guilty, but that's just part of parenting. For Ruby, we got to a point where she was probably only going to school a couple of days a week. It was constant that, you know, my colleagues all knew the school nurse's name because they would be calling me all the time and I'd have to go and pick Ruby up. But yeah, her energy levels just got to a point where she just couldn't function, and we could then start to see at that point the real shift, and there was a heaviness that came in with that. Yeah, heaviness is probably a really good way of describing it. It was like that light, bubbly part of her had just really disappeared, and she wasn't enjoying anything. We really sort of started to think, okay, there's more going on here. We still weren't sure that it was a bit of a chicken and egg situation. Was there a physical thing still going on? And then because of the symptoms of that, it was causing mental health issues for her around depression and anxiety, or we were starting to sort of then question maybe depression and anxiety is actually at the core of all of this. So we went to the GP, got a referral, got a mental health plan, and started seeing a psychologist. And we were so fortunate and grateful to this day that she landed with the right person straight away, because I know that's not everyone's experience. The greatest thing that we've gotten from Ruby's psychologist has probably been that she's really open with us, so very respectful of Ruby's privacy, but also has the understanding, or has explained with Ruby, which I think is such an important thing to be able to have as a parent if you've got a child who is seeing a psychologist and going through that. She said to Ruby, I will flag with you when I think there's something that we need to bring mum or dad in on. And it's still always Ruby's decision whether she's comfortable with that or not. But having that context set has been incredible, because there have been times where there's been really serious things that Ruby's felt comfortable to open up to her psychologist about. And then she's been able to then work with Ruby to get her to a place where she's comfortable to share that with us too. And yeah, so that's been huge. So we had an incredible amount of support. I was going through my own health journey at the time, and so we had been surrounded by, suddenly, not suddenly, we've always had beautiful friends and family around us, but there had been an influx of support coming in. And so we were able to lean on people and explain to them what was happening for Ruby as well. and they were really supportive. We have one very close family to us. My husband's best friend, he's known since he was 16, and their family, and they've got 2 girls the same age as ours. And so they were incredible to be able to talk to, and that was really important. A lot of my other friends are amazing. Everyone's children are all different ages though, and I think it's really hard to relate if you've got kids in primary school. You can't possibly project forward to what the experience of raising teenagers is. So yeah, the support was there and it was great, but I think at the end of the day you're questioning everything more than you ever have before. You spend so much time looking backwards and thinking, how did I miss it? I should have realised earlier that this is what was going on. And I think the hardest thing as a parent is just feeling completely helpless, because you really just feel like there's nothing that you're going to be able to do. They could have said to me, there's a magic cure on the moon, I would have somehow gotten myself there. Like, you'll do whatever you can because you're just watching your child and you can't help but feel like they're disappearing in front of your eyes is what it feels like, and it's awful. I definitely went through stages of, particularly in the beginning, of feeling that it was my fault, 100%. There were things that had happened, in our lives and in our family, and you just go into that, you kind of spiral yourself into that thinking, did I not deal with that situation right? Was it because she was bullied in year 7? Is it because we didn't know how to handle that situation and we didn't support her right, and now she's withdrawn and it's built up and manifested itself into this much bigger thing? Yeah, there's I'm an overthinker at the best of times, so it wasn't an ideal situation to put my brain into by any means, because I think I really went through that. But the further into the process that we went, and the more that I was able to, and my husband as well, the more that we were able to educate ourselves on what Ruby was going through personally, what that meant for her, the insights that we could get from her psychologist, the other resources that we found and read and picked up and went searching for as well, then you start to feel like, okay, yeah, it's not just us. It's not because we've done something. There are books about this, and you're reading it going, that's exactly what we're going through. And so that reassurance was huge. She was having an impossible time trying to sleep, so she was incredibly sleep deprived, which is horrible to deal with in itself. We were really lucky in that she came to me and said that she had been having thoughts about she was fighting the urge to want to go to the medicine cabinet, find some tablets so that she could just get to sleep. That was really confronting to hear, and I responded by asking her, do you want to go to sleep, or do you want to go to sleep and never wake up? She said, no, it's just that I'm just so tired, I just want to be able to sleep. It kind of opened the dialogue then for the whole topic around suicide and suicidal ideation. So I said to her that if it's more than that, it's okay, and I need you to know that you can talk to us about it. We're just here to support you. You're not in trouble for anything, or it's never about that. I think that was a thing for her too. I think she felt like she was letting us down, that she was disappointing us. She'd always very much been a pleaser. And I think as parents we forget that, the kids are actually wanting our approval all the time as well. It's not just externally. So yeah, when she said that, that was really hard. And then it was only a couple of days after that she came to me and she said that it had changed, and that she was really fighting the thought of taking tablets and ending her life. And she hadn't acted on it, and she told me that. And we had moved all of the medication out of the cupboard from the first conversation a few days beforehand. And I was, as much as it was so difficult, but I was so proud of her because she was giving us the opportunity to be able to help. And it very easily could have, you know, we could have had that opportunity taken away had she not been brave enough to do that. So yeah, we went to the emergency department with her and explained to her that, you know, it was at that point where we weren't able to hold that, like we don't know how to deal with that. We don't have the knowledge to be able to help navigate her through and out the other side of that. So yeah, that was when we went to the hospital. As a parent, just the ongoing, there is just a force that is unbreakable. You will not stop until you get the help that your child needs. You just have, it's almost that superhuman ability to just keep going. No matter what other challenges you're facing at the time, there is nothing else that's more important. And I look back at everything that was going on in our world at the time and think, yeah, how did we get through that? And so yeah, that's probably what I can say I'm proud of. I think I was really proud too. There were those times that I've mentioned where Ruby really opened up and was able to be vulnerable and talk. And on reflection, I realise now that that's actually because of the relationship that we've built with her and with our other daughter as well. And that's, you know, I'm extremely grateful for that because I know that's still very much on Ruby as well and on her. But I think, yeah, I was able to have a moment of thinking, you know, we've done okay. Like, yeah, we're in this, but we're working through it together, and yeah, we've done okay. The biggest message is, yeah, don't be hard on yourself and have absolute hope, no matter how scary and frightening and how much it blindsides you at the start. Just have absolute hope that there is a way out the other end and you will get there. Because if you haven't got that from this, you have to be coming from that place through that whole journey. You have to be, every decision that you're making and every communication that you're having with your teen, you need to be having it knowing that this is not a permanent thing. This is now, but it's not forever. And so, yeah, try and just always ground yourself back. And I think the other thing, which is almost impossible to do, but you have to, even if it's only 5 minutes, is give yourself that time. You have to just take, if you've still got to just take 5 minutes for yourself, even if it means getting up at 4 a.m. You've got to have that time and just, yeah, and look after your own well-being as best as you can so that you're able to really be there for them.